times. Derek, can you talk a little bit about what was working in that 11-0 run that you had in the third quarter that took you guys from a close game to a little bit of a comfortable lead?
Yeah, I think it just the players kind of found a little bit of energy that they were lacking in the first half. You could tell just right from the start, that the energy, like the force and the thrust of like playing high level basketball just wasn't there, and there are nights like that. And so I think in the third quarter, just tried to clear their minds a little bit and just focus on like each defensive possession one at a time. And that was really kind of where the separation came from. I thought we rebounded the ball a lot better. We were more active in the third quarter, and we were able to get a little bit of separation.
Yeah, Shanae, obviously she came and stepped in for Big Sis today. She was pretty aggressive and active throughout. How important was that?
No, it was beyond important. I think that like regardless of I think like role, minutes, etc., like that type of mentality, right? Of like every player that touches the court, it's not about aggressive in terms of field goal attempts always, but like aggressive, assertive, confident, like physical. You felt her presence on the court, and that doesn't only need to happen when it's 17, 27, 37 minutes. When you're talking to young players, if it's 3 minutes, like we need to feel you out there in some ways. And I thought that Shanae set the tone in that regard. I commented to our coaches early in the first quarter that she really was the only one that had some pop, and some pace to her game. You could just tell she was moving at a different speed than the other four players out there for us. And so, she kind of helped us hang in there in the first half until we could get ourselves going a little bit in the third quarter.
Pavy HoopsNBrews Media. Coach, obviously a win is a win, but did some of the turnovers kind of worry you a little bit, especially some of the unforced errors?
Yeah, I mean, they always do. We've been a lot better in the last, a few ball games. Our turnovers have come down. But one of my longtime assistant coaches, Tex Winter, God rest his soul, he used to say fatigue makes cowards of us all. And when you're tired, crazy things happen. And so oftentimes, Atlanta is a team that is active. They're athletic, they're long, so they do have the ability to force turnovers. But I do think that for us, fatigue typically is one of those things that you can look to when our turnovers are a little bit higher. So hopefully we can get some rest tomorrow because Seattle comes in and they're pretty active on the defensive end as well. So we'll have to be careful with the basketball.
Sabrina Merchant, the athletic coach. What were you hoping to get out of Marina when you put her in the third quarter?
Yeah, it was exactly what she gave us, right? Marina literally is like a quarterback in football that literally forgot that she threw an interception the last time she threw a pass. Like, she'll shoot an air ball and then go back down the court and do something really good and just move on. Like, that's how she approaches it. And what we've always, really loved about her from the beginning is that competitive spirit that she has. That, like, if somebody pushes her, she's going to push them back. If they smack her, she's going to smack them back. And so when she came in the game, she just played and she ran around and she helped at times when she wasn't supposed to help. But in the first half, people weren't helping when they should have been helping. So we were really happy that Marina was able to just come in the game and just bring an energy that we couldn't get, elsewhere. We got AB some minutes, but her conditioning is still, after not playing for a week or so. In the second half, I didn't feel comfortable putting her back out there and set her up for failure. And then when Sydney got banged around, and knocked down, she had to go back for concussion protocol to make sure she was good. So we talked about Marina before the game, though, and I was like, look, one thing we know about Marina she's gonna come in the game and she's gonna fly around and do something. Sometimes it's not good, sometimes it is good, but we don't have to worry about the energy from her. She's going to try her hardest. And we're trying to remind our veterans that even though you get older and you have more experience in this league, a lot of times that cures the problems that you're having. It's just like that youthful mentality of like forgetting the past. Who cares I didn't get the shot? Who cares about what the referee just called? Let me just play the next play. And that's a long way of saying that she did some good things tonight. She needs to hear that because I get on her a lot. So.
Second row on the left.
Coach Derek, this is Chris Camello from Nightfall Media. NECA's absence tonight, was that more precautionary than anything? And how did you like how the team responded without her on the court tonight?
Yeah, no, life is different without NECA. And so, yeah, no, I wasn't here last year, obviously, but, just helping NECA to manage her fatigue, how tired she gets over the course of a season. We had to be smart in Vegas the other night because we weren't sure, just based on her feedback, we wanted to make sure. I know last year it was a little bit more of an illness kind of thing, but this year we just want to make sure that we didn't miss that. And so once we got the confirmation that it was more of just fatigue, not really exhaustion, but just NECA does a lot, and she carries a big burden in terms of the Players Association and her role there. She does a lot for our team. She passes out boarding passes. She collects IDs. She does a lot. So, it's somewhat lighthearted in a way, but in some ways, we have to help her to understand that, on a flight, and they go through all the stuff they tell you before you take off, and they say in the event that you need oxygen, the mask comes down, please secure your mask first before you help others. We have to help NECA understand that she has to secure her mask before she helps others. So it's a work in progress, but we'll keep working at it, and we'll see. She felt better today compared to how she felt in Vegas at halftime, and hopefully by Thursday, she'll be able to give us a little something.
Megan Hines from the South Report. He talked about Maria Vadiva's surges in the third quarter. She finished with 10 points, and that kind of outscored the Green's bench 10-9. Can you talk about her ability to produce and be able to be ready whenever her minutes called?
Yeah, no, Maria's been in a tough spot, in recent weeks, just with coming back, trying to find her rhythm after being away a little bit. And then for a while there, we were getting off to slow starts. So then that kind of impacts your rotation and when you can start to get bench players in. And she's had some games where she's been good, and then other games she hasn't gotten enough minutes to be able to be effective. To her credit, we were able to have some conversation yesterday. She just wanted to make sure that she wasn't doing anything that was limiting her minutes. And I told her that, it's on me. And, I just have to find a way to get her more opportunity. And tonight, instead of 1 minute and 56 seconds, which I think is what she played in Vegas, the more she plays, the better she does. So, unfortunately, because of the way our roster's set up, there are nights where there's not a lot of opportunity for her or for Kalani. But to both of their credits, they've stayed ready. And, I thought that Maria's energy as well, and in particular her rebounding, which was an area of emphasis for us tonight, Maria was really good.
Time for two more. Second.
It's for us, Lamar. Derek, what is it that you liked out there tonight? What is it that you didn't like? And how do you clean up the things that you didn't like before the postseason?
I'll start with the positive. I think I liked the fact that it wasn't a scripted type of performance, right? Like, we've been really good at home. We've gotten separation from teams, big leads, etc. And I like the fact that, there's a level of grit and mental toughness that you have to have in order to win in the postseason. And like you have to be willing to play when it's like 32 to 33 at halftime and 42 to 39 in the third quarter, and not feel like it's supposed to be easy. And I think the more we have experiences where, similar to Vegas, right? We're up 13. They make a run because they're good and they're at home, but the game is basically tied with 6 minutes to go. Okay, let's dig down and figure out how to win the game. Doesn't matter how, who scores the points, just win. And so I like that about tonight's game, is that we just had to find a way. Bodies were out, weren't playing that great, we won. What I didn't like, turnovers. Like I said, the fatigue for sure. But teams are too good to give the ball away and give them more possession. So we have to try and be smarter with the basketball. And then I think also offensively, in the second half we were better. We're so good sometimes that we don't trust that we can change sides of the floor with the basketball. Like Chelsea's thinking about making a great play and getting an assist. Candace is thinking about making a great play and getting an assist. And oftentimes, you just need to make an okay play. Like, you just need to make a basic pass. You just need to get to the right spot and not try to do something that's necessarily entertaining. Could be somewhat boring to fans, but it's winning basketball. And so those are areas I think that just having a little bit more discipline and not having to make the home run play, I think that'll help us a lot.
Last question.
John W. Davis, W Insider. Coach, what's your assessment?
You had a question?
Oh yeah. I was, what was your reasoning?
I saw your hand go up
okay.
before, yeah, so I just wanted to make sure we didn't.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to know your reasoning behind Chelsea Gray playing 40 minutes.
Because Chelsea Gray. That's pretty much the answer. We just haven't been as good when she's off the floor. And I don't intend to do that when the game starts. But as the game goes on, I just, I don't necessarily feel like, we're going to get the things that we can get when she's on the court. And I thought that tonight, it's like she's starting to figure out that that's probably what I'm going to do. And so she got off the ball a little more. Candace handled, Sydney handled, other people initiated the offense. And so she's expended less energy playing 40 minutes than she had at times playing 34 minutes. And I like the adjustment that she was able to make in that regard, that she doesn't always have to be the one to make the play happen. That if we just move the basketball through the pass and through the air, we can get easy shots. And that's sometimes our team we forget that the game can be easier if we just move the basketball a little bit more. Okay, John, sorry.
That's what I wanted to ask you. I just wanted to get your assessment on her record-setting night, because that's literally the most minutes you can play without an overtime game.
Right.
She didn't come off the court. And I know that's not something you want to do.
Yeah.
But you did it to get the win.
Yeah, no, I think that each night is different. Like I said, and we had a stretch there where we were playing really good at home when we had the homestand, and we were getting big leads. We were able to keep the minutes down a little bit, but since then we just haven't been able to do so. And I think Chelsea's at an age where if this is what the team needs, she's willing to do it. And I think that her mindset in terms of being there for her team is so important to her that she's just going to keep finding a way to help us. And so we have to do a good job of, helping her in that process in terms of how we play offense, some of the things that we can do if she's going to be out there that long. But it's only 2 games to go. I don't know how much this is going to change. And then, from there we'll see if we can take care of business on Thursday night and on Sunday, then that puts us in a good position to at least have a few days, where we can get some rest and then go from there.
Well, thank you for your honesty.
Yes.
Appreciate it.